dated April the 19th, 2022, delivered by Her Ladyship Justice Robertson J. And on page 8, and I will leave it with you, paragraph 34, it says, and crave indulgence, it says the submission of counsel for the applicant claimant, which is myself. It says in paragraph 34, contractual relationship exists between the applicant claimant and respondents on how the parties should conduct themselves as members of the BLP. The respondents have breached the agreement. The respondents, for the benefit of the viewers and listeners, Mary Claire Hurst, Paul Chet Green, and Gaston Brown. And the respondents have breached the agreement in a material manner by 1. Undermining the applicant's claimant's position as a member of the Central Executive by holding meetings to his exclusion. 2. Undermining the position of the applicant claimant as a member of the constituency branch of St. Peter by holding meetings to his exclusion. And 3. Undermining the applicant's claimant's position by naming Warden Turner as the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party candidate for the upcoming national elections, contrary to the express provisions of the revised constitution, which mandated that there must be communication from the constituency of St. Peter to the Central Executive indicating that Warden Turner has expressed an interest in representing the constituency and to allow for a primary to be held. Then it goes on, and she ordered on page 26, paragraph 96, as a consequence of the foregoing, this court orders that upon the claimant, applicant, giving an undertaking, that is myself, Asot Michael, to abide by any order in damages that the court shall deem to have been sustained to the defendants, respondents, as a consequence of this order, it is later determined that the injunction ought not to be granted. It is ordered that the defendants, respondents, are hereby restrained by themselves, their servants and or agents, or otherwise from holding out directly or indirectly any person to represent the constituency of St. Peter on behalf of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, who is not selected in accordance with the provisions of the revised constitution of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party.
But Mr. Michael, after all that is said and done, there was another convention that revised the convention.
Can I read 97, sir?
Go right ahead.
And this will answer your question, which I hope.
Okay.
An interim declaration is granted that Warden Turner was not selected in accordance with the provisions of the revised constitution of Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. The interim injunction to stand until the hearing and determination of this action or until there are fresh actions or proceedings initiated and conducted in accordance with the revised constitution of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. Now, Mr. Payne, the key words here are until the hearing and determination of this action or until there are fresh actions, proceedings initiated and conducted. Yes, there have been a convention.
They did.
Yes, but they can't have a convention. The Labour Party has the right to have a convention. The convention then, if they pass new resolutions, they do have to go back to the court and say to the court, listen, we have had a convention. We have named Warden Turner as the candidate for St. Peter. So we are applying to the court. I should not be telling them how to do their work. We are applying to the court to set aside this judgment. And the reasons why we are applying to the court to set aside the judgment. Until they do that, Mr. Payne, they are in contempt of court. They can be put in prison. They're not above the court. There is a judgment outstanding. We can seek contempt proceedings immediately. You cannot disobey a court order and just go to a convention and have a judgment outstanding against you. We're saying you cannot name any other candidate but Asot Michael. Yes, you have the right to go to the convention. And by the way, that will be a whole other thing because that convention is totally null and void.
How is it so, sir?
Oh, sir, they were supposed to give notice, 45 days notice or 30 days, all the names of the delegates, and Mr. Gaston Brown knows that, and Senator Mary Claire Hurst is supposed to be submitted to a special committee called a credentials committee. Suppose somebody wanted to challenge the officers. Suppose someone wanted to challenge for political leader or the chairman or for the general secretary. There was no notice.
So that was not there.
Absolutely none. The whole convention was null and void. Sir, I've been through many conventions with John St. Luce and Lester Bird and the leadership and Gaston Brown. 2 conventions with Gaston Brown and Lester Bird. I know the process inside out. 2 conventions with Lester Bird and John St. Luce. You cannot tell me that you are going to have a convention and you just absolutely disregard your own rules for the convention, no proper notice. I'm an executive member by being the parliamentary representative, and no notice was even given to me, not even an official invitation.
So why would the legalese would have allowed the Antigua Labour Party to hold such a convention and make a declaration after?
Why would what, sir?
The legal side for the Antigua Labour Party, the folks who advise them legally.
I have no idea, sir. I have no idea. I could not answer that question.
Because based on what I would have heard, you're done and dusted as far as the Antigua Labour Party is concerned, based on the convention that they had, because they changed the rules that you took them to court for.
But, sir, the convention in itself, and I really should not be giving them legal advice here.
You don't have to.
I don't have to. But the convention itself is null and void. I would not say nothing more about it. But all I would say to them, the convention is null and void, and in due course they will know that. But number 2, and more importantly, they're in contempt of court, of this court order. They do have to come back to court to ask the judge to set aside this judgment.
And that has not been done.
That has not been done. And you know, if Asot Michael was a different person, he would have already gone to court the day after the convention to start contempt proceedings against them. If I was a different person, and many people have been encouraging me to do it, including my legal counsel, they're in contempt. As of today, I am still the legal representative and the only candidate for the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, despite what their convention have said. And the other thing, why I'm so certain that they do know that, why haven't they gone on the press and held out Rawdon Turner? Don't you notice that they have not made no boulala or no big public statement? And I challenge Mr. Gaston Brown or Mary Claire or Mr. Paul Chet Green or Mr. Max Hurst to publicly put out a statement and name Rawdon Turner tomorrow morning as the representative for St. Peter. I challenge them to do that.
So what took place at the convention where they would have named him? That you said is null and void.
They have, yes, but they have not. They are very careful.
They have not published
They
it.
have not published, or they have not come out publicly, neither the Prime Minister on his radio station, and held out. Because if you read the wording of the judgment, they cannot hold out anybody. They must come out and they must publicly declare and say, I publicly declare that Rawdon Turner is the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party candidate. They are very careful. They have not done so. They just ratified the 17 candidates, including Rawdon Turner, but they have not come out publicly and said Rawdon Turner is the definitive candidate for St. Peter.
So where does that leave you, sir?
Well, according to the judgment, I am the Labour Party candidate.
But why would you want to be among a group of men and women who do not want you?
I'm not sure that there is any group of men and women who do not want me,
In the
except
Antigua Labour Party.
Gaston Brown.
In the Antigua Labour Party.
Except Gaston Brown.
But he's not the only one that would have said things about you and in court. They represented the same, that the chairperson, of course, who is the Honourable Chet Green, Mary Claire Hurst, I think she's the secretary.
They all have to follow the dictates of Gaston Brown.
They have to?
Oh, yes.
That
They should not. They should not.
My next question to you was, as we look at the general elections in Antigua and Barbuda, that is June, what's your position? Because if you were not ratified with the 17th candidate, your name is nowhere in that convention as a member of the Antigua Labour Party. They would have disqualified you based on your behavior. What do you do?
No, they didn't say anything about behavior.
So what was the committee that was set up to say you're unfit?
They didn't give any reason.
They did not?
No. I have the full transcript.
So how
In
does
fact, the chairman of the suitability committee voted for me, Mr. Hilroy Humphreys. It was a kangaroo convention. In fact, do you know that one of the members of the suitability committee is the uncle of Mr. Warden Turner?
No, I did not know.
Okay, all right. Anyway, Mr. Payne, let me say this to you.
Mm-hmm.
Asot Michael will be running in the next general elections. The people of St. Peter knows Asot Michael will be running because I've been campaigning every single day, house to house, every single day. Whether I run on the Antigua Barbuda Labour Party or if I run independent, whatever the people want me to do, I will do. If I have to run independent, I will run independent. And I will win my seat independent. I will be the first independent candidate to create history in Antigua and Barbuda. I am very confident of that.
But that's not what you want.
Preferably, I'm an Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party person. I told you I was born into the Labour Party. I'm still a member of the Labour Party. But if I have to run independent, I shall run independent. I can tell you, though, that Gaston Brown, Prime Minister Gaston Brown, has angered so many people in my constituency that they feel so hurt, they feel so cut up, and the resentment is so high in St. Peter's right now that as I go house to house campaigning, that a lot of people, the vast majority of persons, including strong, die-hard Labour Party people, want me to run independent.
But Mr. Michael, while you're running independent and people reflect on what's happening in St. Peter's, there's lots of things that needs to be done.
Oh,